Hey there. Welcome back. You know I love a good mystery, right? And we are diving into some truly fascinating stuff today. All tailored just for you, of course. We're talking ancient Sumerian spaceports.
Spaceports.
Yeah, you heard that right. Spaceports. And then, to make things even more interesting, we'll be looking at some recent UFO sightings that have been making headlines.
Interesting combination.
Right. So, on the one hand, we have this YouTube video claiming evidence of Sumerian space travel, like from 7,000 years ago. And then we'll be checking out some eyewitness accounts and footage of strange lights in the sky just from the past few days.
So we're dealing with claims from thousands of years ago and events supposedly happening right now.
Exactly. It's mind-boggling. Now, look, we're not here to tell you what to believe. Our mission today is to really unpack these sources, pick out the most interesting details.
The juiciest bits.
Ha! Exactly. And then we'll let you draw your own conclusion.
We want to spark your curiosity and encourage you to think critically about the information.
Absolutely. So, buckle up. Let's start with this Sumerian airport claim. Kazim Finjan, the Iraqi transport minister, made quite a statement during a press conference.
Oh, this is the one that's been all over the news.
Yeah.
Why would a government official make such a bold claim? Especially one rooted in, ancient history.
Right. Well, he stated that the Sumerians had a fully functioning airport 7,000 years ago, which they used to travel to Pluto.
To Pluto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And get this, he's basing this on ancient Sumerian texts. Pretty wild, huh?
It does make you wonder. The Sumerians were undoubtedly an advanced civilization for their time. They contributed significantly to math, astronomy, writing, but space travel, that's a whole other level.
I know, it's almost too much to wrap your head around.
It really is.
And to add to all of this, there's this tweet from Hadar Al-Khoi, a researcher who was actually at the press conference. He described this awkward silence after Finjan made the claim, like nobody knew what to say.
Uh-huh, I can imagine. So do you think he was serious? Or was there something else going on?
Honestly, I have no idea. But it definitely raises some interesting questions.
Like what?
Well, for instance, if we entertain the idea, even for a moment, that the Sumerians were capable of space travel, what would that mean for our understanding of history?
That's a huge question. It challenges our entire understanding of the timeline of technological advancement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine the implications for our understanding of human potential.
It's almost like we're looking at a missing piece of a giant puzzle. A piece that could rewrite everything we thought we knew about the past.
And it makes you think about the Fermi paradox, right? The whole "where is everybody" question. Could the answer lie in civilizations rising and falling throughout history, leaving behind only these faint traces? Okay, so we've got this ancient mystery that's got our minds
Yeah,
spinning.
that got me thinking.
But guess what? Things are about to get even more interesting. Let's fast forward to October 4th, 2025.
Okay.
People across North America, from New Jersey all the way to Toronto, reported seeing this incredible green streak flash across the sky.
I think I saw some news reports about that. It was initially identified as a meteor.
Right, a meteor seems like the most logical explanation. But here's where things get interesting. You received some eyewitness accounts before that official explanation came out, and let me tell you, their descriptions were wild.
Oh, I remember those emails. You forwarded me a bunch. They had some pretty compelling details, too.
Right, they described a solid object, one that didn't break up like a typical meteor would. Some even reported seeing additional objects, like smaller ones, near the main streak.
And these smaller objects were doing what exactly?
Well, they were appearing and disappearing, almost instantaneously.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It definitely has that element of mystery and intrigue to it. And that's what draws us to these kinds of events, this desire to understand the unknown.
Totally. So we have this
Yeah.
meteor explanation from, a reputable observatory, and then these firsthand accounts that just completely contradict that. It's like, where do we even begin to unpack this?
I think the best place to start is with the evidence. Let's take a look at that footage of the green streak. See if we can discern any clues.
All right, let's dive into the visuals. This is where it gets really exciting for our listeners who love to analyze the footage, right?
For sure. We're going to break it down, examine the finer details, and see if we can figure out if this was really a meteor or something else entirely.
Okay, so we've got the footage pulled up on the screen now. First up, we have the green streak itself. What are your initial thoughts? Does it look like a typical meteor to you?
Well, it's definitely moving fast, but it doesn't seem to have that fragmented trail you usually see with meteors entering the atmosphere.
Right.
It's almost like it maintains a solid form, as it streaks across the sky.
I was thinking the exact same thing. It's more like a solid beam of light,
Yeah.
which I find really odd. And then things get even weirder. There's this object that appears after the streak has already passed.
Oh, yeah, right above the horizon.
Yeah, and the way it just pops into view is just bizarre.
Right. It's almost like it materializes out of thin air, and it doesn't move smoothly, like a plane would or a satellite. It's more jerky, almost erratic.
It's like jumping across the sky, right?
Yeah, like it's teleporting from one point to another.
Have you ever come across anything like this in your research?
Not exactly like this. It definitely challenges our conventional understanding of physics. The way it appears and disappears, the sudden changes in direction, very peculiar.
Very. Are there any theories that can maybe explain this type of movement?
Well, there are theories about advanced propulsion systems that could potentially explain this, but we're venturing into highly speculative territory here.
Oh, I'm all for exploring those speculative territories. I mean, isn't that what this is all about? Pushing the boundaries of what we think we know?
That's the fun part.
Okay, so we've got this strange object appearing after the streak. But hold on, there's also something else, isn't there?
Yeah, and this is where it gets even more intriguing. There's this other object, much fainter this time, visible to the left of the streak, just moments before it appears.
Oh, I see it. It's like a little blip of light.
Exactly.
And it vanishes the exact moment that the green streak appears, which is...
Yeah, way too
I
coincidental.
know, it's like this smaller object somehow caused the green streak.
Like it triggered some kind of energy release or transformation.
What if this smaller object was some kind of, I don't know, probe or a device, and it initiated the streak as part of some larger operation?
That's a very interesting thought. It brings us to the importance of context, right? Because if we just look at this footage in isolation, it's easy to dismiss it as, just an anomaly or a trick of the camera.
Oh, totally.
But when we consider the eyewitness accounts, the official explanation, and the unusual behavior of these objects, it starts to paint a more complex picture.
I completely agree. It's like we're piecing together a puzzle, and we have to consider all the pieces, even the ones that seem really strange or out of place.
Exactly. Each piece contributes to the overall picture.
Okay, so we've got this incredible footage from the Green Streak event. Now let's shift gears a bit. We're going to Illinois, where we have a whole other set of UFO sightings that are equally baffling.
Right. We have the footage captured by Theodore Bradley in Round Lake, Illinois. And what makes his case so compelling is that he filmed multiple videos over different locations and times.
Multiple videos, that definitely adds to the credibility, for sure. It's not just a one-off sighting. So what exactly did he capture?
His footage shows some pretty bizarre light formations. Initially, he spots two lights just hovering in the sky for hours. This immediately sets them apart from conventional aircraft.
They're just hanging out up there.
Right. You never see a plane just sitting in one spot for that long.
Unless it's, circling for landing or something, which this was clearly not.
Exactly. And then, as he's driving, he loses sight of the lights for a little while.
Okay.
But when he gets home, the activity ramps up dramatically over the next 10 minutes.
Oh, this is where it gets good. What happens next?
Well, he describes ships splitting off from a larger mothership. And get this, lights appearing and vanishing, like someone was flipping a switch on and off.
Whoa! It's like a sci-fi movie or something, just popping on and off, zipping around the sky. It's wild. What do we make of this kind of behavior? Does it fit into any known patterns of aerial phenomena?
Not really. It definitely defies our expectations of, how things should behave in the sky. And there's another layer of intrigue to this case. Bradley claims that he's witnessed similar activity in the same spot before.
Wait, so this isn't a one-time thing for him?
Apparently not.
So it's like there's something specific about that location that's attracting these objects,
Yeah.
or whatever they are.
It suggests a pattern, potentially a hot spot for this kind of unexplained activity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes UFO research so interesting, trying to find patterns, connections, anything that can help us make sense of these extraordinary events.
I agree. Okay, so we've gone from ancient claims of space travel to modern sightings with these lights that vanish and reappear, split off from each other, and just generally defy any kind of explanation. It's a lot to process, right?
It is.
What are your initial thoughts?
Well, the first thing that strikes me is the sheer diversity of these phenomena. We've got ancient texts describing spaceports, modern footage of a green streak with those accompanying objects, and multiple sightings of these unusual lights in Illinois. It makes you wonder, are we dealing with a single phenomenon or multiple interconnected events?
Right. Is there some kind of thread that ties all of this together? Or are these separate mysteries that just happen to share some common elements?
I think it's too early to say for sure, but the fact that we're even asking these questions is a testament to the power of these mysteries to really spark our curiosity and challenge our assumptions.
Totally. And that's what makes this deep dive so exciting. We're exploring the unknown, pushing the boundaries of our understanding, and who knows what we might uncover. All right, so we've gone from 7,000-year-old claims of space travel to modern day sightings with lights that vanish and reappear, split off from each other, and just generally defy explanation. It kind of feels like we're just scratching the surface here.
Oh, absolutely. We've only just dipped our toes into the vast ocean of unexplained phenomena.
And that begs the question, what does it all mean?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? While we can't offer definitive answers, we can certainly explore some possible explanations.
All right, hit me with those theories. Could these Illinois lights be some super advanced classified government technology? Like, if so, what kind of testing would involve lights behaving in such a bizarre way?
Well, it's possible. Maybe some of what we're seeing could be attributed to technology that's not yet public knowledge.
Yeah.
But even then, the movements, those behaviors described in the sightings, it'd be really pushing the boundaries of what we know about aerospace tech.
I mean, why would lights be splitting off and vanishing like that? What would be the purpose?
Exactly. It's a good question and one that leads to even more questions.
Okay, so maybe not secret government tech. What about the ancient airport claim? As outlandish as it sounds, does it make us reconsider what might be possible in terms of, I don't know, advanced civilizations existing in our distant past?
It's definitely a thought-provoking idea. If the Sumerians, or some other civilization from back then, had technology that we're only beginning to grasp now, well, that would fundamentally change our understanding of history and human potential.
It's mind-blowing, isn't it? Imagine if we found concrete evidence of such advanced tech from our past. It would completely rewrite the textbooks.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so important to engage in critical thinking, even when encountering these seemingly far-fetched ideas.
Totally agree. Sometimes those unconventional ideas can spark some of the most valuable questions.
Exactly. Questions about our place in the universe, the possibilities that exist beyond what we currently understand.
This whole deep dive has really gotten me thinking. If advanced civilizations did exist in the past, maybe even the Sumerians, what happened to them?
Ah, the age-old question. Did they self-destruct? Did they evolve beyond needing physical forms? Or are there descendants out there somewhere watching us?
Okay, that one gave me chills. What if their technology, if it was somehow rediscovered or reverse engineered, could explain some of the things we're seeing in the skies today, like those lights in Illinois?
It's a fascinating possibility. It suggests a link between our past and our present, a lineage of knowledge waiting to be unearthed.
I know, right? It's like we're catching glimpses of something much bigger, a grand cosmic story, but we're still missing so many pieces.
That's the beauty of it all, isn't it? The constant search for knowledge. The universe is brimming with mysteries, just waiting for us to unravel them.
I'm so ready to keep exploring. This deep dive has been a wild ride, from ancient Sumeria to modern day UFOs,
Yeah.
and it's left me with more questions than answers, which I kind of love.
Me too. It's like we've opened a Pandora's box of possibilities.
I can't wait to see where it leads. And to all our listeners out there, what do you think about these ancient airport claims, these modern day UFO sightings? Are they connected? Are we alone in the universe?
Share your thoughts. Keep those questions coming. Keep looking up.
That's right. The universe is full of mysteries, and it's up to us to keep exploring, keep questioning, and never stop searching for those answers. Until next time, keep those skies clear and those minds open.